Copyright laws apply to all contents of this video. Hello, JOMAJ Studios here, and this is our original fantasy action adventure, Like Water, The Next Age. Episode 17. Ibru's passion was always dance. It didn't matter if it was ballet, tap, jazz, swing, hip-hop, salsa, or ballroom. Dance made her feel like her true self. She was on the cusp of reaping the maximum rewards of a 10-year career when the world changed. A spirit not taking too well with the mandatory implant initiatives saw her wandering the wastelands, where she was kidnapped and violated by bandits, before being abandoned pregnant in its desert regions. Ibru was lucky to find a community that welcomed and took care of her, in a world that seemed determined to break her. Her twins were 3 years old when bandits defended her hometown from monsters and delivered it from a ring of serial killers. God used him to provide a community with a means to defend themselves physically and spiritually. With the water programming skills endowed to her, Ibru was determined to be a blessing to her home, which had been touched by God. This drove her to hone her programming skills with daily practice. The day a government army unit descended on her community, she was but a few stone throws away from being a master. That day, Ibru returned from a solo training session to find modern-looking and equipped soldiers dragging every man, woman and child of her community to the town center and putting them on their knees. You see, it had been a year since Zoo's implant went offline, and since then, an order had been put out to find and erase any unauthorized communities set up in the wasteland areas. As soon as she spotted the actions of the government units, Ibru wasted no time unleashing an onslaught of attacks, utilizing both water and ice, which none of the soldiers were able to stop or withstand, with the exception of 3 men who effortlessly emerged from the chaos caused by Ibru's attacks. Agent Adewale, a tall, black, athletically built man who was in his early 30s. Agent Gichi, a young Japanese average height male with a similar build. And Agent Lambert, a young, short Caucasian male with a slightly more muscular build than that of his colleagues. All 3 men had short army-style haircuts and wore government agent uniforms, which were identical to the outfit Zoo always wore. "Stand down, agents, I've got this," said Agent Adewale as he took a step forward while his fellow agents stood back. "Agent Adewale, please give password to activate full battle mode," prompted the artificial analyst embedded in the agent's implant. Agent Adewale smirked before saying, "You never holla." Agent Adewale's word activated a suit that turned him into a 10-foot ape-like robot. Ibru stood her ground in astonishment as the people of her town ran for their lives. Operating without an implant is a federal offense and is deemed as an act of terror. The penalty for this crime is on-the-spot execution, announced Adewale in a voice that matched the fact that he was now in a highly advanced suit. "Even if you don't live in a metropolitan area?" asked Ibru as she entered the fighting stance. "Especially if you don't live in a metropolitan area," answered the agent, then proceeding to advance towards a female programmer, who in turn unleashed a landscaping altering attack, creating an explosion of water, smoke, and ice. The dust settled only to reveal Agent Adewale and his colleagues standing totally unscathed or even bothered because of a force field developed by the study of Zoo's abilities. Ibru continued to fight with every fiber of her being, but her efforts were in vain as she was unable to preserve her life, the life of her townspeople, or the life of her children. That is the end of episode 17, but before we go, answer this episode's question. Was Ibru's death as a result of pride, honor, or foolishness? Give your answers in the comments below as well as on our Facebook and Twitter page. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for the next one. Until then, subscribe to JOMAJ Studio YouTube channel, add us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Link to our website on all social media can be found in the description box below. See you later.